Being a woman, you're always aware that you're a woman, because you're always aware of certain perceptions that people may have about you, or having to fight extra hard for anything in life. But I think being a man is just you have a silent and strong position in society that one might not realize. But being a woman, you always think about having to achieve something or having to overpass any potential obstacles. It gets really tiring having to overachieve and having to, prove your value and prove your worth. And some days you wish that you don't have to do that. But then, when I see people around me and I see the impact others have where they're not able to deliver to the better than their peers, I see how that affects them. And personally, I was raised in Nigerian culture, you're raised to always be excellent no matter what. And I still carry that with me today in whatever it is that I do. So there's also personal pressure there as well, in addition to the societal pressure, but I feel that all the time. I attended Stanford University. I went there for undergraduate and graduate studies. And when I started at Stanford, it was the first time for me that I had been in what I called a privileged environment, where a lot of the students that were at Stanford came from, a lot of trust fund backgrounds and private schools, and, had a very privileged upbringing. And I hadn't really expected that for some reason. And so when I entered the room, I just wanted to be one of them. I grew up in Nigeria, and a woman is essentially the matriarch of her family. It can be a patriarchal society, but the power and essence that a woman has in building her life, building a family, and being the center or core of a family is really, really important for me. Growing up, of course, my mom was the center of the family, ensuring that everyone was well taken care of. I have a younger sister, but as she and I have grown to become adults and more mature women, it's evolved a bit. We hold responsibility in the family now, and that's I think that's a cultural aspect too, because in Nigeria, as your parents grow older, it's up to the children as they become more balanced and successful in their lives to ensure that their parents are well taken care of. So now I would definitely say I'm at the core of my family. Yeah. I'm a woman, I'm Black, and I'm an immigrant in the U.S., and so all of those experiences definitely impact the experience that I have as a woman. I feel very proud to be a woman. I work really hard. I spend a lot of time in the office, and I think about the meetings that I have during the day. At any given point, when I walk into a meeting, especially if it's a meeting at a more traditional organization, I am usually the only woman in the room, and definitely the only Black woman in the room. And so it's at moments like these that if you're a man just walking into a meeting, they might just have the perception that it's just a normal meeting. But for me, as being the one of many, there's automatically a sense that goes up, an awareness that becomes evident. And you have to figure out how to manage your personality, how to communicate in that kind of space, and how to make sure that that your voice is heard, and that you have to excel. You have to make the best points, you have to, have the best ideas, and you have to assert yourself as a leader. Because what might happen is that, if you just start getting by doing just okay work, then people might begin to say, oh, it's because she's a woman, oh, it's because she's Black. And so when I think about that experience, it's always about being better than 100%. You have to go even further than a man might have to go. I think that no matter what scenario we might be in, when men and women are in the same position, the same level, there's almost automatically a disadvantage for the women, whether it's because some might perceive her to be more sensitive, or if she has kids, maybe she can't get the work done. But I just want the chance to start on an even playing field. Just an even playing field, so you can measure people for exactly who they're worth, and so I can be measured for exactly what output or what execution I have. But an even playing field is just the basic of what I would like in life. Have conversations with my male colleagues, help them understand that the experience that a man has in the workplace is not the same as the experience that a woman has, so that at least they can have that at the back of their head, so that when they're, either if they have someone that reports to them that's a woman, they understand how best to communicate with them, because I think that society is just so male geared that men tend to forget that they have this inherent advantage, and it's not that it's their fault, it's just how our society has been built. But being at least minimally aware that there does exist an inherent imbalance in the relationships between men and women and the success that they achieve actually can help eradicate it as well. I'd like to thank Carolyn Everson, my manager and mentor, who has really pushed me to learn what I don't know, be more assertive in my conversations, and ensure that while doing that I make sure to build and maintain my own personal relationships as well. I had to communicate to different folks that I simply wasn't available to be everything to everyone, and that they would get me in, it's either in certain doses or at certain points in time. In my workplace, there's interns that started working there a couple of months ago, and I made a commitment to them to meet with them, the women, for an hour once a month to help them, coach them, guide them, and provide insights about any kind of feedback about the work that they're doing, the relationships that they have with their managers or with their peers as well. I nominate Carolyn Everson to complete the next Womanity interview. You helped me to become the woman I am today, and I'm sure you can have the same impact on a lot of women. How does this look?